Welcome to Ascending with Venus Castleberg, a space where we explore the journey of spiritual awakening, expanding your consciousness and raising your frequency to create a whole new world. We'll dive into the possibilities that open up when you choose to follow the whispers and trust your inner knowing. Each episode is designed to guide you in expanding your awareness, tuning into your intuition, and discovering the magic of your life every day. We'll talk about living aligned with your soul's purpose, going beyond limitations, and creating a life and a world worth celebrating. You are here to embrace who you truly are and step into the infinite potential that's waiting for you. Let's ascend together. And now, here is your host, Venus Castleberg.
Hello, beautiful people. We have the Grether here today. Hello, how are you? Nice to be with you all. So, talking about a subject that actually used to be quite the challenge for me. As many of you may know already, I became spiritually gifted randomly. Hi, Rain, welcome. When I turned 30, and hi, Amara. And I just became a clairvoyant medium. Took my Reiki master, became a clairvoyant medium, whole life changed, right? Started seeing ghosts, spirits, whole 9 yards. Then promptly spent 3 years doing it in the closet. So I'd do massages on people, and then sometimes spirits would come visit, and I would talk to people on the table about their dearly departed people that were visiting. Of course, I always asked their permission. I said, somebody just came for a visit. Are you open to hearing? You never want to, in my experience, you never want to just start blurting things out and talking to random strangers about their dead grandmother. Doesn't necessarily go over well. It's kind of traumatizing for some people. So definitely at least being aware when you're doing whatever you're bringing your gifts out into the world. But then for 3 years, I fought it and resisted it and pretended like it wasn't there. My mom, I grew up with really close to my mom. And for 3 years, I pretty much stopped talking to my mom. She never could understand why. But I felt like I couldn't tell her that I suddenly see dead people. I'm sure there's nobody else out there like this, right? Where you're like, you just don't feel like you can tell your family. I really didn't know. I had to be very selective about who I told, and like I said, kept it very much in the closet. And then 3 years later, I'm starting to suffer from depression, definitely going through dark night of the soul, like just going through this really off time in my life. And I somehow knew instinctively that it was because I was resisting this capacity that I now have, which, by the way, I don't believe is only available to a select few. I do believe actually that we can all tap into this gift and capacity if we want to. So it's not just available to some, it's available to anyone who wants it. So I'm like, okay, well, I know that now I'm a psychic medium, and I am really sad and depressed and off. So I did a vision quest to Sedona, Arizona, at which point Sedona, Arizona was kind of like, maybe I can just come to terms with this or be okay with it. Stayed with a family friend, somebody I didn't really know, but I felt very safe with and I could open up with. And I was talking to him about my newfound gifts and capacities and wasn't sure what to do with them. And, how do I adjust my life? And then he took me around like a really great friend, and he took me around to all these spiritual people in Sedona, and they were all gifted in their own way. And we did a sweat lodge and just kind of did a bunch of things and just found myself being okay with this newfound capacity. I had actually found people out there that had different gifts than I did, and I was like, okay, I think I'm good with mine. Like, Like, you'll never be given anything you can't handle. And that's when I just leaned in. I called my mom, said, "Are you sitting down, Mom?" And she said, "Yes. Why, what's up?" And I said, "Okay, so I'm a clairvoyant medium. I see dead people." And she said, "Well, some of it surprises me, some of it doesn't. And did you really think I wouldn't love you anyway?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess I did. I did think that somehow it would be something that she couldn't handle." But more than that, now what I'm aware of is that it was something that I wasn't okay with. And I didn't want to be seen as the crazy lady. And I didn't want people to look at me weird. And I love my mom. I still really love my mom. She's an amazing person. She's an amazing human being. I didn't honestly want my mom to look at me weird, right? And I think that that's where a lot of us operate from. Not everyone. Some of you are courageous and some of you are out there. Some of you have already ripped the band-aid off and, putting yourself out there in some way. And my hat's off to you. I think that's amazing. And there's a lot of people that are still out there that are like, "I know I have gifts and capacities, but I don't want anybody to look at me as if I'm crazy or weird or anything like that." Well, suffice it to say, people are all going to have their own opinions, for one. And do you really care about what other people think? Usually it's not that you care about what other people think, but it's that you have a belief about yourself that you are not okay. I didn't want to be different. I didn't want to be weird. I didn't want to be crazy. I didn't want everybody to look at me different. Well, if you've ever met me in person, I'm actually 6 feet tall. Hard to see that on the screen. I'm actually very tall. I was born with the name Venus. So I already stand out. So I'm already weird. I'm already different. And the original meaning of weird is spirit, fate, or destiny. So I'm okay being weird. But for a while there, I wasn't. And I think it's just this weird pressure that we put on ourselves that we probably all learn in elementary school, is that we're supposed to somehow fit in, to be perfect, to be just like everybody else, to not be too different, because we're supposed to be the same, some of you might have siblings. I don't have siblings. I was an only child. But at the same time, some of you who do have siblings probably had the, "Why can't you be like so and so? Why can't you be more like so and so? Why can't you be more like this person? Why can't you be more like that person?" Instead of parents, and this is, we all work with the tools that we're given. And so usually whatever your parents passed on to you were passed on to them from their parents. So it's just this vicious cycle that luckily you get to break, and you actually have the possibility of changing the cycle by choosing something different. So we have these parents, and they did the best they could, but they were telling us, "Well, why can't you be like so and so, or why can't you be, more like that? Why can't you be more perfect? Why do you have to be so different? Why do you have to be so loud? Why do you have to be so like?" I don't know if you guys have been on my show. I move a lot. I was never diagnosed with anything as a kid, but I definitely have a lot of energy, and I'm always wiggling. Right? Even when I'm meditating, I'm like rocking back and forth. So I'm like, "Why can't you sit still?" Like, whatever you got projected on, right? I'm going to start here because I know maybe some of you have never actually heard this before. There is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with you. Not even the littlest thing or the biggest thing that you think. Nothing is wrong with you. You are actually perfect, exactly the way you are and exactly the way you're not. But that's all of it. That's the wiggling, that's the noisy, that's the like if you're ever around my family, I'm an only child, but my mom is one of 8. So I had lots of aunts and uncles and lots of cousins. If you ever go to a family event with me, if you ever have that honor of being in a family event with me, my family's loud. And I'm actually pretty quiet, other than when I get on here with you guys. I'm not like a very loud person. But they always, because there were 8 of them, they always felt like they had to talk over people. And so they had to talk louder so that they could be heard. And then they laugh really loud. And it's like they're just loud people. They are wonderful people, don't get me wrong, but they're loud. There's just a lot of noise when you go to a family event of mine. And I'm a pretty quiet person. Well, I was just like, okay, I'm different than my family. You're different than your family. You're different than your friends. But there is nobody on the planet that is you. And so you're the only one that can bring your unique gifts and capacities to the world the way that you can bring them to the world. Right? When you are trying so desperately to be somebody else, you're not being you. And the world doesn't need a clone of anyone. We don't need 2 of Venuses. We don't need 2 of you. We don't need to just think about it. We don't need 2 of anyone. But we do need the one of everyone. Not just the fact that we're all part of the collective and we're all part of the one. Yes, we all are part of the one, but we're also all very unique and have our different capacities and our different energies. And the way that you bring something, it might be the same message that I have, but the way that you bring it to the world is completely different. And different people can hear you. There's going to be people out there that can hear you that cannot hear me. And there's people out there in the world that can hear me that, couldn't hear some other teacher, some other guru, or some other, not that I'm saying I'm a guru, but um, some other speaker or mentor or whatever, right? There's not another you. So you have this beautiful capacity to reach people that I can't reach. And so when you're willing to take your spiritual gifts, whatever those gifts are, those gifts might be healing abilities, they might be psychic abilities, they might be wealth creation abilities, they might be empowering people, right? But whatever gifts you have and that you bring to the world are going to fall on ears that maybe other people couldn't ever get to. You ever think about this? Like, you've probably even done it, but we'll talk about somebody else so that, don't go into judgment of yourself, because that's not the point. But have you ever had somebody who you like told something and you like gave them information that you could see, like something about them that you could see, and then they you said it to them and they didn't hear you, and then you said it to them a couple of times and they never heard you, and then weeks later, months later, years later, they come to you and they're like, oh my God, I learned this amazing thing about myself that I had no idea, but they heard it from somebody else. You were not wrong. You did not communicate wrong. They just couldn't hear you at that time. But you were the seed planter, and you were the one that maybe just cracked the door for somebody else that could slam the door open. So, how much more can you change the world if you're willing to just be the seed? if you're willing to just crack the doors for people and not necessarily be the one that they recognize as being the one that changed their lives. Maybe you did, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But why do we base what we're choosing in the world or creating in the world or bringing out into the world based on what other people believe in us or say that we taught them, or like we use them as a gauge? Like, do they like me? Do they not like me? Do they think I'm perfect? Do they think I'm not perfect? Whose life is this anyway? Are you living it for them? Yes, you can contribute to people. Yes, you can make a difference and impact in the world. Absolutely. And yes, you can get paid for your gifts as well. But what if you didn't use other people to gauge whether you were doing a good job or not? Right? It's not about what they think about you. Like, do you believe in you? Do you believe in what you're bringing to the world? That's the question to be asking. And if not, then maybe looking at, okay, fine, I'm not buying my own value. My point of view is kind of skewed in my head. Okay, can you throw that in the violet flame? Can you let that go? Pock and pod, whatever, right? Like, just allow yourself to be like, okay, I can either keep buying that I'm not important or valuable, or I don't have any gifts to give, or there's other people out there that have the same gifts as me, so why would anybody come see me? I just address that. People will be able to hear you that couldn't hear somebody else, because you will say it different. You will be different. You will have a different way of approaching it, a different way of communicating it, a different way of even showing people what's possible. If this is bringing up anything for any of you, or you have any questions, please call in 202-570-7057. I'd love to talk to any of you. I just forget to say that in the beginning. Oh, I also forgot to say, this must be announcement time. So while some of you are dialing in, 202-570-7057, we are also rescheduling this call for Tuesdays at the same exact time. So we will be doing this Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time going forward, starting officially next week. If you are catching the replay, this will also be on at 1 o'clock tomorrow, this week. But the official start time is next week. I just travel a lot, and I was finding I was traveling on Mondays a lot. And then I have to do a pre-record, and I would much rather be here talking to you live, so that some of you who are going to be bold and reach out sometime and call me on 202-570-7057, then I can actually talk to people and not just, a cute screen. No pressure though. So that's actually a great example. So how many times, some of you watch my show regularly, so how many times have I said, call me 202-570-7057? And maybe you've never picked up the phone. You're not wrong. I'm not making you wrong at all. But this is an example of maybe there was another speaker or something that said, hey, you can call and ask me questions and we can talk and whatever. And you called them. It's a good thing I don't take it personal. And I wasn't there, right? So I don't know that you didn't call me, but you did call them, right? But I'm just thinking, this is just one of those examples. It's like, there's probably lots of speakers out there that have said, hey, you can give me a call, we can have a chat, and you've never taken them up on it. And then this one person, this one time, you take up on that offer for a phone call, and it changes everything for you because you were willing to hear them when they said, give me a call. So that's a less, kind of a less, not less than, not lower than, but like a not so significant of a thing. But it's just an example of like how we can hear the same thing over and over from different people, and then this one person, you just hear it differently and it lands, and you're like, oh, I can actually call this person and ask them questions. I've studied a lot, I've trained a lot, and when I said I'm a fairly quiet person, I've also been not been many times in my life, and I've had to work on it, been the person to ask questions. I've I've been the person to kind of sit back and let other people ask questions. And lots of times I get my questions answered because somebody else asked them. But it's also that willingness to just be like, oh, well, what would happen if I did ask questions? What might be possible? What could I actually work through? Because that's the invitation for this call, is we can actually work through things that maybe are sticking you with bringing your gifts out into the world with confidence. So if you have anything that's like where you're like, yeah, I've been thinking about it, but kind of on the fence, or I've been doing it, but it's not showing up the way I'd like it to, you can call in and get coaching or facilitation if you'd like to at 202-570-7057 or not. I will say, oh, well, let's try this. Whatever you do, you should not call me at 202-570-7057. I'm interested to see if that triggered anybody because you tell a humanoid what not to do and they want to do the opposite. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm telling you guys you can do this, and it's just better if I just tell you you can't call me. You shouldn't call me. That would be bad. And yes, I am self-entertaining. I have to be because nobody's calling me to talk to me. But no pressure. I adore you all. I was just thinking that's just funny. It's such a cute experience. I've had people call in before, and it's just such a generative conversation. It's fun to like talk to people, but it's also that energy of like the questions you ask. I guarantee you, most people, there's other people out there that have that same question. So how cool that when you call in and ask questions, other people benefit as well. But yeah, you shouldn't do that. That's probably not a good idea. Yeah, yeah, you shouldn't call me. I'm just poking the bear. Let's see if it works. Anyway, so bringing your spiritual gifts into the world with confidence. Where do you think, maybe you can just comment in the comments, where do you think you get confidence from? Do the clouds just part and the angels sing and it rains down confidence? And then you're like, ah. Is that how it works? Anyone? Comments are welcome. Where do you get your confidence from? I am going to wait until somebody comments, so I'm going to have to comment in the comments below. Where do you get your confidence? I feel genuine confidence when I am in a state of loving myself. Oh, that's such a good one, Amara. Absolutely. Yep. Loving yourself. You definitely. Well, yeah, because if you're judging yourself, do you feel confident? When you're grateful and acknowledging yourself and seeing how awesome you are you more confident? Roz gets it from God's Spirit. Awesome. I smile. Nathan says I smile. That's great. I'm so glad because I will just, sit here and smile and laugh all day. At least I'm entertaining and cute. Awesome. And thank you for commenting, people. It's nice to have somebody to engage with. That's cool. When good things happen, awesome. I'm confident when I'm able to practice being brave and learning about myself in the process. Absolutely. Yeah. Right. But does the confidence come from? Here's another question for you. Does the confidence come from sitting and doing nothing? Emily, I agree. Loving myself and from my spirit team, they are always uplifting me. Absolutely. Yes. Isn't our spiritual team cool? Like they're just so positive and they laugh. Like mine are funny, but no surprise. So cool. Yep. Roz, it can for sure. You can, yes, you can get confidence from sitting there, but that's probably also from that self-love, right? That piece of you have confidence by sitting there because you're in a state of gratitude or love for yourself, right? Or gratitude or love for what you're doing, or right? But I will say too, one of the things that I really found during meditation, awesome, great, Ross, love it. Yep, meditation brings confidence for sure. I did find over the years, like, how do I bring my spiritual gifts into the world with confidence? I just did it over and over and over again. And I did readings and I had people sit in front of me and say, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I would just go, okay, well, maybe just pay attention over the next week or two and see if maybe something pops and maybe it comes to you. Um, but it was in doing, it was in that being state, it was in practicing bringing my gifts into the world helped me be more confident with bringing my gifts into the world. I guess I should have been more specific on my question, but yeah, like being in practice and just doing it, just and letting go of whether it's perfect or right or good or whatever. I mean, maybe you'll fall on your face, maybe you'll make a mess. Who cares? You're at least then out there practicing. And the practice, you will get more confident all the time. We got people commenting. Thank you so much for commenting. I love this. I gain more confidence when I get validation when using my gifts. Absolutely. Stepping into something I've never done before, having strength to do something different brings me a sense of joy and confidence. I love that. The art of practice gives a sense of knowing what you are doing is right. Yes, right. In the being and doing brings more confidence. Absolutely. Being in acceptance. Yes. And another way of saying that is being in allowance. And if you're in allowance or acceptance, you're not in judgment. You're in that state of gratitude, of acknowledgement, of, okay, just being like, okay, allowance is everything is just an interesting point of view. So what if, and I ran into this too. So for a long time, I wouldn't tell people what my gifts were. I wouldn't do things. We need to take a short break here in a second, but let me finish this thought and then we'll take a quick break. But I would spend this time like not being willing to like be fully out there thinking, what if I mess somebody up? Or what if I do some damage, right? If your heart is in the right place, you can't do any damage. Like what people do with their own lives is up to them. You can't, if you're not out there to harm them, then you can't harm them, right? But like if I wasn't willing to be confident and now we have Psychic University where we train people how to tap into their gifts and to expand their gifts, right? We have the Wealth Blueprint is coming soon. So excited about that. We're training the trainers now. So all of these things wouldn't even be possible if I wasn't willing to put myself out there and possibly fail and fall on my face. And sometimes, yeah, sometimes I've fallen. Sometimes I'm like, oh, well, that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out. Okay, oh well, moving on, right? You must trust your guidance and intuition. Absolutely. So anyway, I hope that was a contribution. I am so, so, so grateful for all of you who engaged a little bit in the comments. We are going to go ahead and have a meditation after this short break that we're going to take right now. I look forward to seeing you in just a minute.
Times TV. Imagine becoming a super influencer. Reinvent yourself, invest in your brand, and then manifest your success with a robust spheric approach. Om Times Media and Broadcasting offers a unique and multifaceted way to become the spiritual and conscious influencer you deserve to be by putting your message across our powerful platform with its proven record of integrity and excellence. Through our produced shows, Om Times offers the opportunity to become a social media TV personality, a radio show host, an Om Times magazine columnist, and a syndicated podcaster, all in one shot. By live streaming your show on Om Times TV and broadcasting it across the extensive Om Times radio and TV networks, you become more than a host. You become an ambassador and a force for positive change. Om Times. Open yourself to the possibilities.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome forward. Happy to be here with you once again. And again, thank you, everyone, for chiming in and giving me at least somebody to ping off of a little bit. So, if you have a place, if you're driving, of course, please don't close your eyes and just, you can put a pin in this, you can save it for later, come back to it when you can have a quiet space. But for those of you who can be in a quiet space and relax, we're going to find a comfortable seat and close our eyes. Breathe in, exhale out. Breathe in, exhale out. Breathe in, exhale out. And relax. Relax your body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Relax. Just imagine there's this golden light pouring down from the heavens like warm, honey-colored light pouring in through your star chakra, the crown of your head. Breathe in, exhale out. And relax. Letting that warm golden light pour down through each of your chakras, through your third eye, your throat, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, your root chakra, and down through your feet and into the earth. Just perceive how this golden light pulses down through your being and into the earth, and then pulses back up from the earth through your body and to the heavens, to the sky. Breathe in, exhale out. Breathe in, exhale out. and relax. Feel the warmth, the lightness, the ease that comes from this golden light as it pours through your body and back up. Relax your shoulders. Let go of the need to hold on to everything. Breathe in. Exhale. And I want you to just perceive what are your spiritual gifts. Maybe you know them already. Maybe you don't know them yet, but that you're curious. What are my spiritual gifts? Just imagine that you can sense them, you can feel them, maybe you know them. Just have a sense of your spiritual gifts. And I want you to just perceive them as if they were in front of you. Maybe they're in a box, maybe it's a ball of light. There's some sort of energy that is your spiritual gifts, your capacities. And just acknowledge them first. Just be like, okay, I'm grateful for these gifts. Even if you don't know what they are yet, just being grateful for them, not judging them. I am grateful for these gifts, for these capacities, for these superpowers that I have, that maybe nobody else has, and nobody else can deliver them the way that you can. Breathe in, exhale out. And then if you're willing to, maybe you already have, maybe you've already integrated them into your beingness, into every fiber. And maybe they've still been a little bit elusive, or you've been a little bit scared of them, uncertain. Breathe in, exhale out. For now, just for fun, I want you to just imagine that they're actually gift wrapped in front of you. It's a gift, it's a capacity. Maybe it's a gift and capacity that you don't know that you already have, or maybe you do. It's okay. But just allow there to be this gift wrapped box in front of you. And if you're willing to accept this gift, to be grateful for this gift, to integrate this gift into your body, your being, and every fiber of your soul and spirit, then go ahead and just unwrap the box. Open it up. If you don't want to open it right now, it's okay. You can put it on the shelf. You can revisit this later. You can open it another day when you feel like you're more ready. But for those of you who are ready today to unwrap this gift and just let the wrapping fall away. And what is in the box? Maybe it's a symbol, maybe it's a statue, maybe it's an energy, maybe it's not anything in particular. but get a sense of like, what does this gift represent? When you look upon it, how do you feel? What sort of things does it bring up for you? And allow yourself to just get that knowing, that perception, that understanding. And if you're willing to accept this gift, you can still put it on the shelf and say, not now, we'll come back to you later. It's totally an option. Or if you're ready to acknowledge this gifting capacity, if you're willing to accept it with gratitude, and I want you to just pull that energy, pull that symbol, that energy, whatever it showed up as, and then just place it inside of your heart. You can place your hands over your heart as you place this energy, this awareness, this allowance, whatever it is, into your heart. And as it goes into your heart, I want you to just let that energy infuse every molecule, every cell of your body, and all of the energy that is in your energetic field, your aura. Just allow it to reach out. And maybe, just maybe, allow that energy to ripple out even farther. Feeling that energy fill up the room or the building that you're in. Feeling the energy of the country or the state that you live in. Let that energy reach out and touch the country, the whole country, or all of the neighboring countries, maybe the continent that you live on. Allowing now that energy to touch the oceans, the lakes, the bodies of water. And then see or feel or just know that that energy is now reaching the other continents. And allow that energy to go around the whole world and maybe even to the other side of the moon. Breathe in, exhale. You're getting messages from Davy. That's not me. Just, breathe in, exhale out. Allowing that energy to now reach the far reaches of the universe. And I want you to just take stock, to observe. Does the world somehow feel different? Just by your willingness to accept and acknowledge and integrate the gift within yourself. And then let that energy reach out over the world, reach out to the universe. Your energy, your gifts make an impact on the world just by being willing to acknowledge them, to be grateful for them, maybe share a little bit of that energy with others. You can do that consciously, you can do that specifically, or you can just be it. Be that energy for others. Help others. Contribute to others. Just by being you. You don't have to do anything. At least not at first. At first, just be that energy. Just be that contribution that you naturally are. You don't have to, but then if it's fun for you, go out and practice. Breathe in, exhale. Just observe and maybe even find that gratitude for sensing even if one molecule just turned 180 degrees. I felt it with all of us expanding our gifts out around the world and into the universe. I felt the molecule change. Something changed. How much more can we change if we're willing to be the brilliant, talented, magical, amazing beings that we truly are? Not the stories that we tell ourselves or the stories of lack and wrongness that we bought from somebody else or some other lifetime, but truly just from being the magical beings that we truly are, without the need for apology, without the need for judgment, without the need for making amends for damage done. Did you know that you could actually just step off the karma wheel? You don't have to stay on the karmic loop. We only stay on the karmic loop because we believe from some lifetime that we believe to be punished for damage done from some other lifetime. You don't have to be punished. You chose what you chose with the tools that you had at the time. And since then, you've made different choices. Because those choices didn't work for you. But you don't have to make amends for damage done forever and ever. You can just be complete, forgive yourself, step off the wheel, choose something different. Breathe in, exhale out. Just allow yourself to be in this space of this energy, of this capacity, and this gift. Right here, right now. Enjoy it. Be grateful for it. When and if there's action to take with it, it will be known. But for now, just practice that gratitude. And know that when the time is right, you will have the confidence to take that gift out to the world. You don't have to force it. Just because you now have this gift doesn't mean you have to now go make it happen. Just be grateful for it. Enjoy the energy. Enjoy the space. Enjoy the ease. Maybe some of it you already did. And others, parts of it are coming into you. So maybe explore it as an adventure. I have this gift capacity. I'd like to get to know it better. Sit down with read it, journal about it, talk to it. Maybe you can talk to the gift about how would it like to be out in the world more. Breathe in, exhale. And sometimes this is also true. There is no one and only path for everyone. Sometimes gifts and capacities are meant to be just for you, just for fun, for a little while. We often get a gift, or some of us maybe get a windfall of money or something like that. There's this immediate tendency to feel a gift on it. Get rid of the gift, or give the gift away, or give all the money away, or instead of just enjoy it, be grateful. And maybe ask a question before you feel like you have to go give it away to everyone. Is this just for me, just for fun right now? That will also start to boost your confidence. Willingness to just be with something, even when you're uncomfortable. And when you're willing to look at something and be uncomfortable and be with it when you're uncomfortable. And acknowledge it when you're uncomfortable. Acknowledgement is very often very first piece in changing something. Just saying, okay, I see that I have this gift capacity. Would I like to do something with it? Also a great question. And just a choice. You're not wrong if you don't want to. And that being said, it also might be fun. Yeah, right. There is not a right or wrong, good or bad path. There is just choose what works for you. Do that. So it doesn't work for you anymore. Choose to you always enjoy. Exhale. And when you're ready, maybe start to rub your hands together. Take a deep breath in and exhaling it all out. Slowly opening your eyes. Gently coming forward with this new gift or rekindled gift and capacity. and the invitation to bring it out into the world, or maybe just play with it for a while. I wonder what you will choose. Thank you, everyone. Super grateful for you all. I look forward to seeing you next week. Just a reminder, next week will be on Tuesday and then forward at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, I wonder where we'll go next week. I look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day. Bye.